So, today we will be playing some Bant Control, Wilderness Reclamation Control in Pioneer. And I was looking at this deck list and I was like, something seems funny about this deck list. And I realized the only win condition in the one I was looking at was Lumbering Falls. This is literally it. The deck is a pile of lands and answers and Lumbering Falls. And so I was like, okay, so we're gonna make a little bit of redundancy here. And we added Castle Ardenvale. So we added Castle Ardenvale as another win condition. We put a few more win conditions in the sideboard just in case our opponent's running Edicts.deck or something. And looking at this right now, I'm like, I really want a Nexus of Fate at the very minimum in the sideboard. I don't know what I'm going to put it in over, but I really, really would like one in the side. And I think I'm going to put it in maybe over Parter of Veils. We'll try like this. Okay, cool. So I think, without further ado, let's go ahead and take this into some two-mans and see how we do. Alright, so we're up against Sullivision. We are on the draw. Yeah, I think we can keep this. This is not the best hand for this deck, but it's lands and spells. Can't complain too much. When it starts Forest, pass. Alright. We are going to shock in Hallowed Fountain. I want the rest of my mana in my hand to come in untapped if possible. I think 2 life is worth it here. We are running Sphinx's Revelation and a Wilderness Reclamation deck, so I don't think life should be too much of a problem for us. Okay. Down that a little bit. Alright, opponent is black-green something or other. We're going to cycle a Hieroglyphic Illuminations, draw a Lumbering Falls. That's good. This turn, I think we're going to play Glacial Fortress, just to keep up Cyclonic Rift in case. I don't think we'll need to cast it, but you never know. Opponent's asking if we're new perspectives. Opponent plays a Wayward Sword Tooth. It's a big ol' 5/5, lets him play another land. Okay, so we untap, we draw. Hallowed Fountain will play a Lumbering Falls tapped. Pass the turn. Okay, so our opponent, I asked our opponent if they were on Heartless, or if they were on Gitrog land shenanigans, and they said basically. So we'll see what happens. Alright, opponent plays a Castle Garenbridge. They do have access to 6 green mana for creature spells. They play a Courser of Crufix into an Overgrown Tomb, gaining 1 life. Top of their deck is a Swamp, and they cast a Nissa Vastwood Seer. They have played 2 lands, so I was Court of Calling on top. So I was going to Wilderness Reclamation this turn, but Nissa coming down and threatening to flip, we don't have a good answer for. So what I'm going to do instead is we're going to just Supreme Verdict. Nice 3-for-1 there. So opponent draws Court of Calling. We know they're holding Court of Calling, as well as the Forest they revealed. So if Court of Calling, 2 unknowns in our opponent's hand. Okay, opponent adds 6 green mana for creature spells. Plays a District Guide, searching out more lands. Do like our opponent's deck. They are definitely doing a bunch of land ramp shenanigans. Another District. Okay. So their hand is Forest, Swamp, Court of Calling, I believe. Okay. So let's see. Another Lumbering Falls. Let's play Castle and Wilderness Reclamation. We will pass to our end step. Oh, it didn't float the mana. Oh well. We didn't need it, but that was kind of annoying. We'll make a human. Pass the turn. The opponent will probably play either their Forest or their Swamp. Play a Forest. You know they're holding Swamp, Court of Calling, 1 unknown. They play a Courser. No, I am not Pioneer legal. That's for sure. Don't tell anyone. How's it going, Combat Wombat? Good to see you. Our opponent is on some sort of Wayward Swordtooth land shenanigans, and I love it. Okay, opponent is courting X5. Probably just going to put Gitrog Monster in play. They do. Opponent has an Hour of Promise on top of their deck. Well, it's a good thing we have Settle the Wreckage in our list. So we're going to play Lumbering Falls. That is Abzan value without the white. I can imagine there's some good Abzan cards they should have. So we're going to go ahead and make a token, then untap our lands. Opponent untaps, has to sack a land, floats a green, decides not to. Good to know that they do have a Field of Ruin, so we do have to be careful. Because I think this lets them play lands out of their grave? No, they need Ramanat for that. Okay, I don't remember what was on top of our opponent's deck, but I don't think it was very good. They do draw an additional card, though. Opponent is going to Field of Ruin our castle, saying, I hope this is not 20 Nexus of Fates deck. Hey, Flora, how's it going? Opponent's drawing lots of cards. Okay, opponent goes Hour of Promise. I don't think they have any deserts. They're just using it as like a Primeval Titan enters the battlefield trigger. Okay, Temple of Malady. They're going to scry. Multani. Well then. Multani might be kind of annoying. We don't need the mana. We're not going to Cyclonic Rift. Because we're going to settle. Make them shuffle. Okay. Opponent gets a bunch of lands. I think they might have a Satyr Wayfinder in hand, but I'm not certain that. They find picking up Swordtooth and Nissa. Alrighty, we untap, we draw. A Cast Out. That should be useful. So let's... Urborg makes mana hard to tap. It's really annoying, actually. We'll go ahead and get in for 5. Pass turn, untap our lands. We do have Cyclonic Rift mana now. What is the win con in this deck? Literally Lumbering Falls. That is how we win. No, I'm not joking. Opponent fails to find a forest. Good to know. Plays a Swordtooth. Gets the City's Blessing. I think we cast out Nissa now before she flips, because we won't have priority in response to her ability, and it prevents our opponent drawing a card. Okay. No one of Azor? No. We are basically win conditionless control. Very nice. So what we're going to do is Cyclonic Rift this. Make them pick it up. Breeding Pool. I'm going to go ahead and get in for 2. We're going to go to our end step. Float a bunch of mana. Untap. And we're going to fire off this Sphinx's Revelation for 6, I think, will be plenty. Perfect. We got an Absorb and a Dig Through Time. So that's what we will be doing this turn. We will be countering the thing we think is the biggest threat, and then digging through time. And honestly, I don't want to counter Swordtooth because we're holding a Supreme Verdict. Opponent plays a Hissing Quagmire. Okay, Hissing Quagmire is actually kind of annoying. So let's go ahead and dig through time. We're gonna get another Wilderness Reclamation. Kind of want Castle Vantress. Yeah, let's do that. Rest to the bottom, any order. Untap and draw. Cool. So play Castle. Go to combat. We're just going to get in to deal 1 actual damage. Then cast Reclamation. Then Verdict. Okay. Pass to our end step. Float a blue. Untap all our lands. Blue, whatever. Activate Castle Vantress. Sphinx's Rev to the bottom. Dig through time on top. Float enough mana to activate Castle Vantress again, then scry 2. Sphinx's Rev to the bottom, dig through time on top. Perfect. Pass the turn. Isn't this lovely? Isn't that lovely? Sorry about your ramen up, excavator. It's obstructing my view of victory. Alright, opponent gonna fire up Hissing Quagmire. That's fine. We don't mind a 2-2 land. We go to 23. Sorry. Okay, untap. We draw. Dig through time. So play Glacial Fortress. Animate Lumbering Falls. Animate Lumbering Falls. Get in for 6. Opponent goes to 12. Okay. Untap our lands. And I think we're going to Sphinx's Rev for 3, just to get back up to 7 cards. Growth Spiral, Absorb. Well, no reason not to fire off a Growth Spiral here. Hallowed Fountain tapped. Growth Spiral, Glacial Fortress. Untap our lands. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent's passing. So let's just scry a bunch. That Urborg is seriously driving me nuts. Bottom, top. Untap. We draw. Lumbering Falls. So fire up Lumbering Falls. Number 1. Fire up Lumbering Falls. Number 2. Go to combat. Get in. Hexproof manlands seem kind of strong. Uh-oh. We didn't play a land to have Absorb up. Chord of Calling. I forgot they had instant speed tricks. They get a Gitrog monster. Are they going to do it again? Do they have... Okay, so they're activating Hissing Quagmire. Well, the good news is this does not run us out of all of our win conditions. Play Lumbering Falls. Let's go ahead and dig through time. We're going to pick up Absorb, Settle the Wreckage. Rest to the bottom, any order. Untap, untap. Pass the turn. Kind of sad that they got rid of Ardenvale so early. I don't know if anyone can hear that, but Porter is dreaming and barking in his sleep. Cute dog. Alrighty. Opponent gonna get rid of Castle Vantress. You know, sure. Get an island. Opponent fails to find. Dread Presence. To that, I say no. Opponent plays a land. Are they going to attack with Gitrog? They are not. There you go. Smart opponent there. Oh my god. Splendid Reclamation. We cannot allow that to happen. Our opponent would just buy back like a bunch of Fielder Runes and could activate them all. That would be so bad for us. Because we need our Lumbering Falls to win. I feel like this game will end with us decking ourselves. I feel like we're going to win before that. So, Verdict. Animate Falls. Get in. Pass the turn. Untap, untap. We do have to be careful if we don't have a counter spell in hand, though. Because if our opponent can chord out something, it's really bad for us. I don't know why Moto is like, I have to shift all your permanents around every turn. Okay. It's all likelihood we should probably be swinging, but I want like some kind of guarantee here. An opponent could deck themselves or shoot us. Okay, they're going to draw. They might draw more cards than we would. Second Dread Presence. Oh gosh. Let's just pass. See what our opponent does. We're kind of hoping they just commit like a whole bunch of things to the board. I don't really want that to be a thing. We only have one Absorb left in the deck though. So we're going to let that be for now. Opponent's going to replay Field of Ruin. Opponent's going to draw and then shoot us. Opponent's going to play Find Finality, picking up Gitrog and another additional land play per turn. Why is this game still going on? Because we don't have any real win conditions in the deck other than Lumbering Falls, and our opponent killed 2 of them already. Okay. I think I made a tactical error. Standard All-Star Lumbering Falls. Love it. Yup. Kind of hoping our opponent goes on the big attack for Settle. Opponent sacks a land to draw a card. Opponent might mill themselves out. Unless they have like a, what do you call it? The stupid Seasons Past card. Opponent's machine gunning us down at the moment. So we're going to settle whatever attacks into us this turn. And then we are going to try and deck our opponent, I think. Opponent's playing another Satyr Wayfinder. Opponent only has 5 cards in library. Nothing is too deep for our opponent. Are you kidding me? Have you seen what they're playing? Oh, gosh. Well, there's their recycling. We definitely have to counter this somehow. So we're going to draw 9 cards and we need a counterspell. Oh shoot, this leaves us dead, doesn't it? Maybe not. Syncopate X14 is what our opponent was expecting, they say. Okay, we have to veto this. But I think we're dead, because Kano can't math. 3, 6, 8, 13, 18? Opponent can swing for 18. I don't know how many more land plays they have this turn. We're holding a Verdict, though. So we go to 4. If they play a land, we're dead, somehow. Oh, they don't have it. Okay. Oh, that's awful. Like Glacial Fortress. Wrath the board. We'll go ahead and Cyclonic Rift Nissa. Opponent's gonna kill Lumbering Falls? Sure. What's left in our deck? We have 1 Lumbering Falls left, but we're not winning with damage. Opponent's gonna kill another land, that's fine. I think the way this is working out, we have to counter the Gitrog monster they're gonna cast. If that's the case, what I should actually be doing here is casting out Nissa. Alright, hang on. Need to play Folio of Fancies for the Wombo combo? Actually, I really like that idea. Yeah, untap all our lands. Untap them again. Pass the turn. Discard a land. Opponent has a Castle Lochthwain, which does nothing for them at the moment. Animates Hissing Quagmire. Goes attacking. We will settle that because that's our only answer to that card right now. Oh, man. Yep. Multani. This is what I hope Pioneer becomes. Gigantic derpy grindfest where everyone was playing cards they couldn't play anywhere else. Instead I get smashed by red decks. Yeah, I feel you there. Well, if we counter it, he just gets it back, so we let him have it. It's a 22-22. You know, big numbers. We are going to actually Sphinxes for a small number. Like 3. Censor, not very useful here. Play a land. Pass the turn. Untap everything, untap everything. Worth noting, this is game 1. Okay, opponent's gonna go attacking. Bounce Multani. I actually think we're gonna run out of answers for Multani, because I think we've used all our verdicts and stuff. 1, 2 verdicts. So we've used both settles. We've used all verdicts. Oh, this is so bad. We're gonna die to a recurring threat that no deck like this could actually answer. because we don't have Dissolve. Have him bounce a couple lands, pick up Multani again, replay a land. Oh, he activated Castle Garrett Bridge. We were thinking about censoring him. We're Cycle Censor. Into a Lumbering Falls. Okay. We can't draw any more cards if we want to win with Mill, but we need to find a way to answer that. And I don't think we actually have an answer in the deck. Nope. We basically needed a cast out for it. Yeah, okay. So, game 2. Luckily, we have ways to win that... So we're going to bring in 2 Aether Gusts. A lot of our opponent's permanents and cards are green. We're going to Teferi and Narset. It's not a blocker because Multani has Trample and is like 40 power and we're at 10 life. We're going to bring in Nexus. Probably Teferi because just bouncing Dorks is maybe good enough. Okay, what do we go down? We go down... actually think we go down like a Revelation, which feels kind of weird. Censor's super bad. The cycling is good, but otherwise is really bad. We could Sanguine Sacrament, actually. Maybe we don't need Time Raveler. Transcendent is better versus an actual deck that's casting non-creature spells. And then... You know what? We're running 27 lands, so I'm going to run 62 cards. Because I'm good at this game. Alright, gotta play fast. Here we go. I'm gonna mulligan that. This is much better. We will keep Shunt a Revelation to the bottom. Start Ardenvale tapped and pass turn. We might win via clock here, which would feel kind of bad, but like... Okay, opponent plays a Hissing Quagmire. We draw a Glacial Fortress, so Glacial Fortress tapped, pass the turn. We will have all of our colors, and we do have a decent number of lands. Opponent plays a Satyr Wayfinder, milling themselves, picking up a Field of Ruin. So they are holding a Field of Ruin. We will play another Glacial Fortress, pass the turn. Opponent going to get in for 1. That's fine. Opponent plays a Crucible of Worlds. Nice. We play a Forest. Pass the turn. Unfortunately, no Reclamation. I think the card is 2, or the number is 2 that I want to be pressing here. Ramen Excavator. We draw an island, play an island, pass the turn. So we know our opponent is holding a Field of Ruin. They get in for 3. Dread Presence. Okay, this pretty much demands a Wrath. I think our opponent's gonna... Okay, opponent shoots. They're trying to end the game quick. So we Wrath, pass the turn. Opponent plays a Mending of Dominaria. Picking up Reclamation Sage and playing a Temple of Malady. So they are holding, I believe, Field of Ruin and Reclamation Sage. Okay, we untap, we draw a Hallowed Fountain. We'll play it untapped, pass the turn. We are going to Sphinx's Rev here. Okay, opponent mills a Gitrog monster. That's pretty good for them. They pick up a Gray Merchant and play a Courser. Wayward Swordtooth on top. Opponent plays a Field of Ruin. Okay, so we will float a white. Go get a blue. I think we just actually overload Cyclonic Rift. Because we can't have them shuffling their graveyard back in just yet. Good old Trollnado. Just yeet everything back into our opponent's hands. I love this card in Standard. It was so much fun. Okay, we draw Absorb. Absorb's not bad. Pass turn. See what our opponent does. Plays Crucible. We'll counter that. If only because it delays them quite a bit. Opponent plays a Forest from the grave. And passes. We draw Lumbering Falls. Play Lumbering Falls. Pass the turn. Probably going to have to rev for 3. at our opponent's end step. Okay, sweet. Opponent mills themselves. I think they pick up Multani. They pick up Wayward Swordtooth. We'll play a land, pass the turn. They get Dread Presence. Play Swordtooth. Play Dread Presence. Plays a swamp from their hand. Gains 1 life, shoots us. Plays another swamp out of the grave. Probably going to do the same thing. Opponent going to get in for 2. Plays a Wayfinder, mills themselves. Alright, send them all back to Kansas. Cycle Illuminations, pick up a Lumbering Falls. Opponent has to discard a number of cards. They discard Satyr Wayfinder, Overgrown Tomb, Courser, and Murderous Rider. We draw. Play Lumbering Falls, pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays Dread Presence. Plays a Swamp, shocks an Overgrown Tomb in, and shocks us. Replays a Swordtooth. Opponent only has 24 cards left in their deck. Holy crap. If they replay Mending of Dominaria, that's what we're looking to counter. Okay, get Rog Monster, that's fine. They have no more lands to play. Okay, big Rev turn time. Actually, shoot. We need to try and hit a Supreme Verdict here. Okay, there's a Verdict. There's Nexus of Fate. Good to have. So we will not be going for the Nexus of Fate kill, because that's going to take forever. But otherwise we would just... Actually, we could. Nah, we're not going to do that. Now that we've drawn Nexus of Fate, I am 100% certain we would win this game, even if it wasn't going to go to time. We're actually fine with them having that. Rec Sage for Wilderness Reclamation, that's fine. Opponent replays Field of Ruin. They're going to try and pick up 2 dudes. Yeah, that's fine. Play Gitrog. Replay Field. Yeet! Alright, untap. Play Lumbering Falls. Pass the turn. Okay, opponent plays a Dread Presence. So we're going to cast out the Dread Presence here. That's a very, very exorcism-y statement. Okay, opponent Rec Sages. Sure, I probably should have waited. Honestly forgot that I stuck that back in their hand. Oh man, sometimes I'm really bad at this game. Okay, another Dread Presence. Opponent replays a Swamp, they're going to shoot us twice. Okay, untap. We draw Breeding Pool. Play Fabled Passage. Sack it. No lands left. Good to know. Let's play the worst cantrip in the universe. Untap. Supreme Verdict. I mean, not really, but that might work. We might start animating falls just to block. Oh man, this is going to be bad. Hopefully our opponent just can't play enough lands to kill us instantaneously. I have to play 3 lands this turn. Okay, no lands left. They shoot us twice. Opponent's going to pick up Multani. Plays a Gitrog monster. For an additional land drop, they're going to shoot us again. We're down to 2. And they got us. GG's, sir. That was a lot of fun. That was an hour-long match. Oh, man. Well, that would be a fun fun deck to try out for sure. This isn't the same guy, is it? No. Okay. Okay, we got another round here versus Andigo. We'll play first. We'll keep. Start Lumbering Falls, pass the turn. One plays a Terramander. That's terrible news for us, I think. So we're going to go ahead and Growth Spiral main phase, because I have a feeling we're just going to get countered if we do anything else. Hopefully our opponent just plays like a draw spell or something here. Don't duress me, bro. Getting duressed. They can't take Cast Out, though. That's good news. Probably takes Verdict. Yeah, that's a card they just can't deal with in any other way. This feels kind of bad and a little weird, but I think we're just going to cast this out main phase so that we ensure it resolves. I have a feeling our opponent's playing something similar to the mono blue Curious Obsession aggro list. Alright, we'll try and resolve this. I'm positive it gets countered. Opponent must not have a counter spell, because in a deck like this, that's the spell you counter. Opponent flashes in a Nimble Obstructionist. Gets in for 3. Sure. Charts a course to draw a couple cards. Let's Rift this back into their hand. We're just trying to stall at the moment. This plays around Spell Pierce and also prevents them from recasting it right away. Okay, we draw Verdict. Can we get a Settle the Wreckage? I think we try and fire off a Rev here. Opponent did not have a counter spell then. They might have one. I'm trying to think of what they would main deck. It's probably Spell Pierce or Mystical Dispute, but I think it's worth it to just try and fire this off at the moment. Okay, they opt. They're looking for something. It might have been worth it to only draw 3 instead of 5, but sweet. Okay, we should be fine this game now. One plays an island. Cast a Terramander. We untap. We draw a Hallowed Fountain. Play another Lumbering Falls. Pass the turn. I'm going to flash in the Stifle Bird. That's fine. Opponent gets in for 4. We go to 15. Okay. So let's Hieroglyphic Illumination. If they counter this, it's whatever. Drown in the Lock. Okay. Play Plains. Pass the turn. Kind of taking a risk holding Verdict for this long, but I want to try and fire a Settle the Wreckage. Okay, we get Mana Leaked. They're running Supreme Will, worth noting. Okay. Well, let's Growth Spiral. Hallowed Fountain intapped. Untap, we draw. Arden Veil. That's kind of useful. Wipe the board. Pass to our end step. Untap. Make a dude. Never underestimate the power of a 1/1 token. Alright. Opponent plays a Swamp. Passes turn. We draw another Reclamation. Play a Fabled Passage. Crack it. We're going to go get a Island. Play another one of these, because it's good. Pass to our end step. Make a dude. Untap. Make a dude. Untap. Make a dude. Seems pretty good. This is why I enjoyed adding this card to this deck list. Okay. We are going to try and cast this out, playing around Supreme Will. But it does only have 2 cards in hand. Okay, they got to Drown in the Lock, that's fine. Opponent does have us on a relatively fast clock. They're opting. They put a card on top to draw it. Probably a counterspell. We do have a lot of life gain. So we're going to animate a Lumbering Falls. Go to combat. What do they have? Mission Briefing. Probably going to flashback a Fatal Push. They put Drown in the lock and Censor into their grave. If we draw another Revelation, or even an Absorb or something, we should be in a really good spot. Well, they chose Supreme Will for mission briefing. Okay. So that's how they're going to recoup a little card advantage here. So float mana, untap lands, activate. Float mana, untap lands, activate. Pass turn. So opponent's going to flashbacks. Oh, they didn't go with the Supreme Will. They're speeding up the clock. Alright, well if their last card in hand is not a counterspell, we need to draw, I think, Sphinx's Revelation or Supreme Verdict. That is neither of those things. So we have 5. I don't think we can animate all 3 Lumbering Falls, otherwise that would be lethal. Because each one requires 4, so we'd need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We can only activate 2. Dang, really close. Alright, so we're going to bring in Sanguine Sacrament. We're going to bring in Mystical Dispute, Veil of Summer, and I think Time Raveler, because it just shuts off their whole counter game plan. And what are we going to go down? We're going to go down 1 Settle the Wreckage. We're going to go down... This is tough. I'm going to cut 3 cards. I think Cyclonic Rift, actually. And then... another Cyclonic Rift. And a Hieroglyphic Illumination. Let's try like this. We'll play first. Oh man, our mana is so slow. We do have good counter spells, though. I think I'm going to keep. Start Lumbering Falls to get Mystical Dispute online as fast as possible. One moment. Sorry about that, folks. We draw a Growth Spiral. Well, pass the turn. Opponent plays another Choked Estuary. I'm gonna get in for 1. That's fine. I think I'm willing to dispute that. Okay, Island off the top would be super good here. That works. Opponent's gonna play an Island and get in for 1. So we are cycling. Opponent could cycle Bird and counter that if they wanted to. Don't think it would be very good, but they could. Sweet, we hit our land drop. Now we get to untap. Another land drop, perfect. Now we can absorb and Growth Spiral. We will absorb the Obstructionist. Plays another Terramander. Gets in for 1. Sure. Growth Spiral. Glacial Fortress. Kinda want to cycle this cast out. We're really looking for Supreme Verdict. Shock that in. Pass the turn. I think I'm going to count that as our opponent tapping out. So we are for sure going to just dig through time. Oh, hey, look. Supreme Verdict. And Wilderness Reclamation. It's good news. We'll let this go. So we would basically be looking to counter a hand hate spell this turn, like a Duress or a Collective Brutality. If not, I was going to say we could make a dude, but probably don't need to do that because we're just wrathing. The Scarab God. We are going to counter that to get around its recursion. Wrath the board away. Pass the turn. Okay. Opponent's almost out of resources. Never mind. We untap. We draw a Sphinx's Rev. Let's try and get down Wilderness Reclamation. Void Shatter. Let's cycle Hieroglyphic Illumination and try and hit Dovin's Veto. Or nope, Censor wouldn't do it. Okay. So we're going to have to hope that our opponent is out of direct interaction and fire off a big rev. Nope, there's the Duress. Alrighty. We are in top deck mode. Opponent gets in for 1. We draw. Absorb. Okay, Absorb's a pretty good card. We're basically looking to counter anything they can play. Okay, they adapt. That makes that threat very fast. They drew a land, finally. They get in for 5. Okay. Make a dude. Untap. We draw a land. Not good. Get in for 1. Probably could have animated Lumbering Falls there. Opponent's got a Field of Ruin. Get in. Wrath the board away. The timely Supreme Verdict. Answered the Terramander. We're just going to counter like whatever they play. If they play anything. And if they don't, we're going to start beating down with Lumbering Falls. That seems nice. Opponent might have to counter that. Because that just makes their life miserable. Okay. I guess we're going to check and see if they have the double counterspell or not. Absorb, Drown in the Lock. Teferi resolves. Sweet. Alright, pass turn. Things are looking minimally better. Opponent plays a land and passes. We draw. Okay, we are going to minus Teferi. Draw a card. Sphinx's Rev. Let's fire off a big one of those. Oh, we can wait to do that. We'll wait. If opponent casts a threat, they still can't respond because they can only cast spells when they can cast sorceries. So like there's no reason not to wait till our opponent's end step. We might have to rev for a particular target, so we'll see. Okay, yeah. We'll just maximum rev here. Is the opponent going to try and counter it because they don't realize how Teferi is overpowered? Nope. Sweet. Cool. Untap. Plus Teferi because instant speed verdicts are a thing that can happen. They give up. They've seen enough. It might be worth bringing in the other Dovin's Veto. I'm not quite sure what for. This deck is very taxing on my brain because it's not just like straightforward combo or beatdown or anything like that. This is very much a run your opponent out of resources and then win the game with a man-land deck. Reminds me a lot of Esper Drownyard. If anyone remembers that from Standard like 8 years ago, 10 years ago. Well, this hand's unkeepable. Much better. Let's see. We're going to put back Sanguine Sacrament. Ooh, I don't know if you could hear that on the microphone, but that was my neck. Ouch. Surprised me. Alright, opponent plays Opt. You'll turn 1 Opt. Thankfully, not a threat. They put 1 card on the top. That's kind of bad news for us. We'll play Lumbering Falls. Pass the turn. I'd really like for them to just like tap out weirdly so that we could get a Teferi down really fast. Because unless they cast Duress, like Collective Brutality doesn't hit it. And if they just play a Dune, we can jam Teferi into a single character, like single minion creature. Words that are not working for me right now. We'll play Glacial Fortress tapped. Pass the turn. I think I had a stroke. Sorry, everybody. Alright, opponent cycles a Censor. Plays an island. Passes. We draw. Absorb. We have no islands, so this enters tapped. So there's no way for us to hold up Absorb this turn. So we're going to play Forest. And I guess... Actually, we probably should have played Castle of Antris, so we could play Wilderness Wreck next turn. I'm not above this. Well, worth knowing they've got Stiflebird. Opponent plays a Swamp. There it is. Okay. Bird comes down. We're probably going to cast out at their end step. See if they counter. And then if they tap down, we'll play Teferi on our turn. Okay. We are going to cast this before Chart a Course resolves because we want our opponent to have less information, if at all possible, before acting on cast out. Alright. Get the bird out of the way. So what were their 2-mana counter spells that we saw? We saw Censor, we saw Drown in the Lock, and I think that was it. We might be able to get down to Fairy. So unless they had like Spell Pierce, we might be able to get down to Fairy this turn. We could wait until next turn, because then we would have enough to Teferi with Absorb backup. But I think it's better off to happen now. So play Castle Vantress, play Teferi? Oh, they have Negate. They brought in Negate. Okay. Well, we hadn't seen Negate yet. Okay, opponent could take Wilderness Reclamation or Absorb. Probably takes Absorb. I mean, they could take Wilderness Reclamation too. They don't have another way to answer that card unless they have counter spells in hand for it. Just taking Absorb limits our interaction with them. Yeah, okay. And we draw it anyway. Hallowed Fountain tapped. Pass the turn. We're going to force them to keep playing threats at the moment. Okay, opponent plays an island. Passes. We draw. Okay, we are going to play and shock Breeding Pool, simply because this does play around Supreme Will. So our opponent, if our opponent only has taxing counter spells, we're going to make them use all of them. Unfortunately for us, our opponent had a Drown in the Lock. They cycle a Censor. So they did have a Censor. We did play around Censor correctly. They had double Censor. Alright, what you got for us, opponent? Ooh, that's the first time that's happened twice. That's not good. I need to see a chiropractor. Alright, mission briefing. For Opt, maybe? They dump Spell Pierce and Swamp into the graveyard. Chart a course. They draw 2 and discard Collector Brutality. Play a Choked Estuary tapped. Okay, big threat. Come on, big threat. That's the opposite. 4, 5, 6, 7. So let's get in with Lumbering Falls. Opponent's got nothing at the moment. Play Glacial Fortress. Animate Lumbering Falls. Get in for 3. And pass. Opponent opts. Okay, so opponent was debating flashing in to block. Opponent plays a Terramander. They get in for 3. We go to 13. Untap. We're going to activate this at our upkeep. We're going to try and hit a Supreme Verdict. Okay, Settle the Wreckage is sort of what we're looking for. Opponent will likely have a counterspell for it, but we need to do something here. Don't duress me, bro. No. All right, there goes Settle. So we were basically on the Vantress at upkeep for Supreme Verdict plan or bust. Bottom. Supreme Verdict? Nope. And that's the match. Well, that was a lot of fun. I love this deck. I think this deck is really good, and I think in the hands of a better pilot than me, you could do some pretty sweet things with a deck like this.